Are you tired of the ups and downs of the stock market? Do you want to invest in stocks that provide reliable income and long-term growth potential? If so, you've come to the right place. In this video, we'll be discussing the power of Dividend Kings and the top 5 best dividend stocks for investors. These stocks have a proven track record of consistent dividend payments, capital appreciation, and lower risk compared to non-dividend paying stocks. By the end of this video, you'll have a better understanding of how dividend stocks can help you achieve your financial goals. So, grab a pen and paper and get ready to take some notes. And don't forget to support us by subscribing to our channel and liking this video. What are Dividend Kings and Dividend Aristocrats? Simply put, Dividend Kings and Dividend Aristocrats are companies that have a long history of paying and increasing their dividends. Dividend Kings have increased their dividends for at least 50 consecutive years, while Dividend Aristocrats have increased their dividends for at least 25 consecutive years. These stocks are popular among long-term investors for a few reasons. Firstly, they tend to be well-established and financially stable companies with a track record of consistent performance. Additionally, the reliable and consistent dividend payments they offer can provide a steady source of income for investors, making them particularly attractive for retirees or those seeking passive income streams. Now that you understand what Dividend Kings and Aristocrats are, let's dive into the top 5 Dividend Kings to consider for long-term investment. But before we do that, we want to hear from you. In the comments section below, let us know which dividend stock you think is the best for long-term investment. Top Dividend Kings to consider. Dividend King number 5, Cisco Corporation, ticker SYY, with a 5-year expected annual yield of 11.4%. Cisco Corporation is the largest wholesale food distributor in the United States. It serves 600,000 food delivery points, including restaurants, hospitals, schools, hotels, and other facilities. The company has an estimated market share of approximately 16% of all U.S. food deliveries. On January 31st, Cisco reported its quarterly results. Non-GAAP earnings per share of 80 cents beat estimates by 4 cents, while revenue of $18.59 billion was in line with estimates. Sales were up 13.9% over the same period last year. U.S. food service volume was up 5.2% year-over-year, while gross margin rose 15.9% to $3.3 billion year-over-year. Dividend King number 4, Johnson & Johnson, ticker J&J, with a 5-year expected annual return of 11.7%. Johnson & Johnson is a global healthcare giant. The company currently operates in 3 segments: consumer, pharmaceuticals, and medical devices and diagnostics. The company has about 250 subsidiaries in 60 countries, and its products are sold in more than 175 countries. On January 24, 2023, the company's latest fourth quarter and full-year earnings report was released. In the fourth quarter, adjusted earnings per share of $2.35 increased by 11 cents, while sales of $23.7 billion declined slightly. Johnson & Johnson's diversification allows it to continue to grow even if one of its segments performs poorly. The company has raised its dividend for 60 consecutive years, making it the Dividend King. The stock is held by many well-known fund managers. For example, Kevin O'Leary owns J&J dividend stocks. Dividend King number 3, Altria Group, ticker MO, with a 5-year expected annual yield of 11.7%. Altria Group was founded by Philip Morris in 1847. Today it is a consumer staples giant. It sells the Marlboro brand of cigarettes in the United States and other non-smoking brands, such as Skoal, Copenhagen, etc. Altria also owns a 10% stake in global beer giant Anheuser-Busch InBev, as well as significant stakes in Juul, a manufacturer and distributor of vape products, and cannabis company Cronos Group, CRON. On February 1, 2023, Altria reported its third quarter results. Its fourth quarter non-GAAP EPS of $1.18 beat analysts' estimates by 2 cents, while its revenue of $5.08 billion, minus 0.2% year-over-year, missed analysts' estimates by $70 million. Management's plans for 2023 include continuing its strategy of balancing earnings growth and shareholder returns with strategic investments. The company expects fiscal 2023 adjusted diluted EPS to be between $4.98 and $5.13, representing a growth rate of 3% to 6% from a base of $4.84 in 2022. It expects its full-year adjusted effective tax rate to be in the range of 24.5% to 25.5% and capital expenditures to be between $175 million and $225 million. The company has authorized a new $1 billion share repurchase program, which it expects to complete by December 31, 2023. Dividend King number 2, Lowe's Companies, ticker, LOW, with a 5-year expected annual return of 13.3%. Lowe's Companies is the second largest home improvement retailer in the United States, after Home Depot. Lowe's operates or manages more than 2,200 home improvement and hardware stores in the United States and Canada. Lowe's reported its third quarter 2022 results on November 16. Total sales for the third quarter were $23.5 billion, up from $22.9 billion in the same quarter last year. Comparable sales were up 2.2%, while comparable U.S. home improvement sales were up 3%. In particular, sales to professionals were up 19% year-over-year. The company faced a pre-tax, non-cash asset impairment charge of $2.1 billion related to its Canadian retail business. The sale of the Canadian retail business is expected to be completed in early 2023. Adjusted net income, which excludes this large impairment charge, increased 19.8% year-over-year to $3.27 per share. The combination of the multiple expansion, 6% expected EPS growth, and 2.1% dividend yield leads to an expected total return of 14.1% year-over-year. Dividend King number 1, 3M Company, ticker, MMM, with a 5-year expected annual return of 15.5%. 3M sells more than 60,000 products used daily in homes, hospitals, office buildings, and schools around the world. It employs approximately 95,000 people and serves customers in more than 200 countries. Today, 3M consists of 4 independent divisions. The Safety and Industrial Division produces tapes, abrasives, adhesives, and supply chain management software, as well as personal protective equipment and safety products. The Healthcare Division provides medical and surgical products and drug delivery systems. The Transportation and Electronics Division produces fibers and circuits with the goal of using renewable energy sources to reduce costs. The Consumer Division sells office supplies, household products, protective materials, and stationery. The company also announced that it will spin off its Healthcare Division, which would have generated $8.6 billion in sales by 2021. The transaction is expected to be completed by the end of 2023. We forecast a 15.5% annualized return for 3M stock, driven by expected EPS growth of 5%, a 5.5% dividend yield, and significant momentum from an expanding PE multiple. 4. Benefits of investing in Dividend Kings and Aristocrats. Investing in Dividend Kings and Aristocrats can provide numerous benefits for investors. Firstly, these companies offer reliable and consistent dividend payments. This can provide a steady income stream for investors, which can be particularly beneficial for those seeking passive income or for retirees looking for a source of income in their retirement years. Secondly, Dividend Kings and Aristocrats have the potential for long-term wealth growth and capital appreciation. Many of these companies are well-established and financially stable, with a track record of consistent performance. This can provide investors with the potential for long-term growth, as well as stability in their portfolio. Thirdly, these stocks tend to have lower volatility and risk compared to non-dividend paying stocks. This can provide investors with a sense of security and stability, particularly during economic downturns or periods of market uncertainty. Lastly, investing in Dividend Kings and Aristocrats can provide potential tax advantages for certain types of investors. For example, qualified dividends may be taxed at a lower rate than ordinary income, which can provide tax-efficient income for investors. 6. Risks associated with Dividend Kings. While Dividend Kings and Aristocrats can offer several benefits for investors, it's important to also consider the risks associated with investing in these stocks. One major risk is the impact of economic downturns and changes in interest rates on the company's financial performance. During periods of economic uncertainty, these companies may experience lower earnings and cash flow, which could affect their ability to maintain or increase dividend payments. Another risk to consider is the possibility of dividend cuts or suspensions. While Dividend Kings and Aristocrats have a long history of consistent dividend payments, there is always the possibility that a company may need to cut or suspend its dividend due to changes in its financial situation. This could lead to a decline in the stock price and a reduction in income for investors. To mitigate these risks, investors can take several steps. Firstly, diversification is key. By investing in a portfolio of stocks across various sectors and industries, investors can spread their risk and reduce their exposure to any single stock. Secondly, investors should have a long-term investment horizon and be willing to hold their investments for a significant period of time, allowing for the potential for market fluctuations to even out over time. In conclusion, while investing in Dividend Kings and Aristocrats can offer many benefits such as reliable dividend payments, potential for long-term growth, lower volatility and potential tax advantages, it is important to also consider the associated risks such as economic downturns and changes in interest rates. However, by diversifying your portfolio and investing for the long term, you can mitigate some of these risks and potentially reap the rewards of investing in these types of stocks. Overall, investing in Dividend Kings and Aristocrats can be a great way to achieve your financial goals, whether that be generating passive income, building long-term wealth, or both. We encourage you to consider investing in these types of stocks and to conduct further research before making any investment decisions. Remember to always consult with a financial advisor and to invest according to your personal financial situation and goals. Here we are at the end of the video. Thank you for watching it. I hope you liked it. If so, feel free to like and comment it. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already done so. See you soon in the next video.